Hi grade 4s, we're going to do a new section today and we're going to learn about rights and responsibilities. And what's really cool is that every human being has certain rights, and with rights come responsibilities. But when our constitution was written, that's all the rules of our country, the politicians decided, you know what, children are super special and they need their own set of rights and responsibilities. And that's pretty cool because they thought you were special enough to have your own rights and responsibilities. But first we need to find out what rights are. And these are things that every human being deserves, no matter who they are or where they live, just so that we can live in a world that is fair and just. You don't have to earn your rights. You get them automatically because you are born into this world and you are a human and you deserve them. I'm going to play a little video now about rights. And what's quite interesting, I want you to try and listen carefully to the video and see if you can pick up some of the rights that children have.
I got rights, you got rights, we've all got rights, we've all got rights. Gotta have a home, gotta be well fed, have a place to learn and rest your head. We've all got rights, we've all got rights. Gotta have a say, gotta raise a view, have a place to play, express a view. We've all got rights, we've all got rights. Gotta know your name, get the doctor's cure, don't get pushed around anymore. We've all got rights, we've all got rights. If you're a refugee, get shipped abroad, you can join the club, not be ignored. We've all got rights, we've all got rights. Gotta know your mom, gotta watch TV, gotta know the law, cause you and me, we've all got rights, we've all got rights. Too young to work, can't go to school, don't you ever be nobody's fool. We've all got rights, we've all got rights. If you wanna believe, that's okay. Everybody needs 3 square a day. We've all got rights, we've all got rights. Gotta be so proud, we got rights. Gotta have some joy, we got rights. Gotta know the truth, we got rights. Every girl and boy, we got rights. We've all got rights, we've all got rights. I got rights, you got rights, we've all got rights.
Right, I hope you enjoyed that video. And they mentioned some of the rights in there. The rights that we're going to be looking at, we're looking at 9 of them. The first one is the right to a good education. Now, this is really tricky considering where we are right now and the fact that you can't come to school. So there's some questions about, well, is that right being taken away from you? And no, at Edgemead Primary School, we have done absolutely everything we can to make sure that you still have an education. And this is because it's one of your rights. We can't just say, oh, well, we're in lockdown, shame, tough, no school. It's your right to have an education. So we need to, as teachers and as educators in schools and all that kind of thing, we need to make sure that you still have your education. Nobody is supposed to take it away from you. And so that's why we're trying as best as we can to still give you some form of education. You also have the right to be proud of your heritage and your beliefs, which means that you can be proud of whatever religion you belong to, whatever you believe in, whatever your family beliefs are. You should be proud of that. You should be able to tell everyone what your beliefs are, and you should be proud of those. We're going to talk about responsibilities in a minute, though, because for each of these rights, there comes a responsibility. You have the right to be taken seriously. If something has happened to you and you go and tell an adult, you have the right to be taken seriously. And unfortunately, sometimes some adults forget about this and they think that just because you're a child, what you say doesn't really matter. And in that case, you need to remember that you go and tell another adult. You have the right to quality medical care. That's why if you're sick or if you're hurt, mom or dad takes you to the hospital to make sure that you are looked after. And sometimes when you're sick, it's not so serious that you need to go to the hospital, but mom and dad will go to the pharmacy, go to Clicks, go to the doctor maybe, and get some medicine to make you feel a little bit better. Children have the right to be loved and protected from harm. This is why we make sure that all adults look after children. And we make sure that if a child is hurt, we do something about it. There are lots of policemen and lots of organizations that look after children specifically and make sure that they don't get hurt by the adults that are supposed to be looking after them. Children have the right to get special care for special needs. So if you were disabled or there was something wrong with you, we can't just go, oh, well, shame, you can't do this or you can't do that because of what your disability is. We make sure that if you have a disability, we still are able to allow you to do certain things. Maybe there's some limitations. Maybe you need extra help in certain things. But because you have a disability doesn't mean you don't have rights. And so we need to make sure that you get special care. You get special, not special treatment as in it's unfair to somebody else, but if two people are standing at a fence and one is tall and one is short, and the tall person can see over the fence and the short person can't, is that really fair? So what should really happen is the short person should get a box to stand on so that they can also see over the fence. This is kind of special attention for special needs because they're short and so they need extra help. But it didn't mean that they got treated any better. It meant that now both of them could see over the fence. It's that kind of thing. Children have the right to make mistakes. So yes, you're little, you're learning, and you are going to make mistakes. And so you need to be able to have that space to kind of learn from your mistakes. And that comes back to our responsibilities, which we'll look at in a minute. You have the right to be adequately fed. Now, this is a tricky one because adequately fed does not mean you have the right to getting junk food whenever you want. It's really difficult at the moment because we can't go out to Nando's and KFC and McDonald's and stuff. But you have the right to get healthy food. And nobody should be keeping food from you. Now, when I say food, I don't mean junk food. If mom says, no, you can't have chocolate cake after supper, well, that's junk food. You still had your supper. So you have the right to be adequately fed, to get some food in your tummy so that your brain can work well. Children also have the right to a safe and comfortable home. Again, this doesn't mean the fanciest home. You just need to be in a safe place where you're secure, you're warm at night, that kind of thing. And what's really sad is that some children don't even have these rights. Okay, and the government is working really hard to try and make sure that everybody in the country and all the children in the country have these rights. So what we're going to do now is we're going to copy into our books the children's rights that we looked at this week. Next week we're going to look at responsibilities, but for now we're just looking at the rights. So in the picture you can see I've got a heading, children's rights, and you can see I've done it all fancy. You're welcome to do that in pencil crayon as well if you want to. And then I've written the sentence, children have the right, and I've put a semicolon there. Then what I'd like you to do, as I have in my page, I'd like you to rule off after every third space. So count 3 spaces, rule off. 3 spaces, rule off. You're obviously going to do this on the lined page, but I would like you to turn your book or the pages in your book so that the lined page is on the left-hand side. Maybe it means you'll have to skip a page. That's okay. Okay, I'd like this to be on the left-hand side and it should be on the lined page. Next week, we'll work on the blank page for the responsibilities. And you keep ruling off and you should have 9 spaces. You can see I've numbered them 1, 2, 3, etc. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to copy down all the rights. And then in the next little picture coming up now, you'll see I've done that there. So I'm going to read through them quickly. You remember you can always pause this video at this point, and then you can copy down the rights from the paused video. So number 1, to a good education. You'll notice each little part of each right I've ended with ... because the responsibility is going to come on the blank page next week. Number 2, to be proud of their heritage and beliefs ... Number 3, to be taken seriously ... Number 4, to quality medical care ... Number 5, to be loved and protected from harm ... Number 6, to get special care for special needs ... Number 7, to make mistakes ... Number 8, to be adequately fed ... And the last one, number 9, to a safe and comfortable home ... Right, grade 4s, I hope you've enjoyed learning a little bit more about your rights. Like I said, next week we'll look at the responsibilities, and then we're also going to discuss, well, what does it mean for us at the moment? Because how are we maybe losing out on some of these rights because of having to be locked up in our houses because of Corona and all that kind of stuff. So well done on copying down your note beautifully, neatly. I'm sure it will be 100% gorgeous when I see you when we're back at school. And I look forward to chatting to you next week about responsibilities. Bye.